We can start with what everyone's talking about, and that is, I've tried it. Have you tried it? Hard seltzer.
I have not.
Hard seltzer.
I'm not there
It's
yet.
big, huge growth. I mean, the kind of growth that I don't think anyone could have.
Yeah, Joe, it's one of those things that have been in the market now for 5 years, and this past summer, 2019, really took off.
Why?
It's something that it's flavored.
Yeah.
It's go well into health and wellness in the sense of, less carbs, less calories.
What was the number, though? The number, I saw a number, 250% growth. Is that possible?
Oh, yeah, no, that's totally possible. I mean, it's with beer now, this year, 2019, beer plus seltzer went back to growth after some years of decline in the U.S., slight decline. So it is something that's profitable. It's here to stay. We're very excited. We have 3 propositions. We have Bon and Viv, which is our premium. We have Bud Light Seltzer, which will launch officially now at Super Bowl. And we have our Natty Light Seltzer as well.
This is real. Sorry. This is
expensive?
real. And
Of wine?
I can't drink beer anymore. I can't.
Why
it's
not?
not just me, but because if I drink 5 beers, it just doesn't work.
I don't
want to
sit next to
It doesn't
him.
work
Yeah.
for
Drink
me.
4. Drink 4.
No, that second 6, they go down so smooth, though. Most no, I'm kidding. But beer makes me full, makes me feel full. And this stuff, what we're really, it's not just a alcohol delivery system, but that's part of it. I like, I mean, you do, and seltzer,
It feels lighter.
it's a pure, clean way to maybe
lighter.
6%. It's not
It still
like.
has bubbles, though.
And I don't have to order, Andrew loves those wine spritzers. And at least I don't have to order, no, he doesn't really, but I don't have to order one of those, right? I can get a.
Andrew's a beer guy,
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is this is something that makes a big difference.
That's great. It's a great opportunity.
All right, what about everything
it's
else?
growing. It's on trend, and we can play it. It's about national brands. And it's also something that can travel. So we're beginning to explore in some other countries because, the same trends you see consumer-wise in the U.S. are the same trends you see elsewhere in the world.
I mean, given as diversified as you are in beer and all around globally, is it that big a deal to actually start an interview about hard seltzer? Will it be that important? Because it's not there yet in terms of total revenue, but it's a big thing for the future.
No, it's a big thing because, again, it's something that's happening. It's on trend. It's profitable. It's growing. And that's something that the beer category has lacked for some years, which is innovation. And now the category is innovating very fast. And that's why you're seeing other beverages that could replace beer starting to decline.
When we ask you overall about the consumer, if beer has a problem, you're not getting a clear view of how the consumer actually is because beer, it seems like it's got its own problem.
Yeah, so sometimes beer is a category. We're a global company, Joe. So we look at the global, beer business. For the last 10 years, beer has been one of the few food and beverage categories that has grown rate and volumes on a CAGR basis for the last 10 years. So how many categories can say that? So it's a very blessed category to be in. Also because in terms of health and wellness, which is something very on trend, we can offer something all the way from 5% all the way to 0.
I know, but you're talking health and wellness and beer in the same breath, and that sounds very odd. I thought millennials were turning away from some of this stuff, which is maybe why they want hard seltzer in other areas.
Well, the hard seltzer is also 5%.
Yeah.
I mean, the trick, look at Michelob Ultra in the U.S., the fastest growing brand in the U.S. What it offers at a lower ABV, lower alcohol, 4%, it offers a way for consumers to go out and work out and not have to compromise, And it's growing. It's the fastest growing brand in the U.S. And now with Pure Gold, it's the first USDA organic beer in the U.S.
I hear more and more people talking about dry January, where they're not going to drink alcohol in January. Do you see that in your sales, and do you have something for those people who don't want to drink alcohol?
Of course you do, because that's the advantage of beer. We can go from 5% to 2 to 3, all the way to 0. And 0.0 beer here in Europe, where we are, is a segment of beer that grow the fastest. So dry January, we can also have products for consumers.
Does that show up in your numbers? Do you see dry January, or is that just like a total Twitter phenomenon?
No, but it's an interesting segment because, again, it's very profitable. And if some consumers are willing to go for it, we are here to offer consumers on different occasions something so they can stay with us in our portfolio. That's what we're in business for.
All right. Do you think that Coke or some of the other beverage makers, do they have the same problem, do you think, in terms of innovation, in terms of satisfying health and wellness, in terms of, I know that, this is not beer, it's not Inbev.
Well, we're also Coke bottlers, Pepsi bottlers.
Tastes are changing so quickly with millennials.
But all these companies are being very close to the consumer and going where consumers are. If you want to grow, you have to grow where consumers are. And consumers always drink something. So you can go from sugar soft drinks to non-sugar soft drinks to water to juices to coconut water to so many things. I mean, there's a breadth of things out there. And I think all companies are trying to go where consumers are going, because if you do that, you grow.
What about CBD? That's one of those additional growth areas. What are you seeing with
Yeah, we're
products
testing some of that in Canada.
Right.
It's still very early on. Canada is still illegal. We only do it in Canada, very early stage, not mixed with alcohol, no THC, just CBD. Only in Canada where it's legal. So we have a joint venture there. We're testing to see, to have an opinion about it.
What do you think so far?
So far, it's too early to tell. It just got legalized there 2 months ago.
Okay.
Do you have the whole supply chain thing exactly where you want it with bottlers and everything else? What do you spend most of your time thinking about? The logistics of the business, or
consumers?
Or
that's why we spend most of our
all innovation and satisfying consumers
and customers, yeah, and our people. I mean, we need to look at consumers. Customers, our retailers, is the way to get to consumers, and our people is the magic behind all this. If you have great people and they feel a sense of ownership to the company, they will go where consumers are going. They will treat our retailers the best way possible, because if they win, we win, and that's the magic of it.
Will I see any advertising from your company at the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah. You're going to see some Budweisers, some Bud Lights, some Seltzers, some Michelob Ultra Pure Gold.
That would be a yes.
That's a yes, a big time yes.
It's going to be a really good Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, very competitive. That's great.
So
looking forward to it.
I had both those teams, as I've mentioned to you
several times
already, even though they were big favorites. Hard to cover 7.5 points. It's hard, but they did. Anyway, Carlos, I think all this gambling's helping you too. I do. All the DraftKings. I watch all the games. I drink while I'm watching.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm not kidding.
I mean, no,
I see a lot of synergy.
Sports is a big occasion.
Big
beer. Big. It's always been. Will continue to be. If there's one thing, if there was one thing that people still watch live, is
sports. Especially if you're betting on it. Anyway.
Live sports.
And you got to have a beer if you're doing that, apparently. Carlos, thank you. We will see you again soon.
Thanks so much for having me.